Hello, welcome again to Thea's Table. You know, staying on top of all the new emerging data can be a little bit taxing. It can make one a little morbid. And so today, I am having an adult beverage so that we can keep on chatting around our table. You would think that basic personal and domestic hygiene is a simple thing. And yet I've seen many people skip some basic steps in keeping surfaces clean. And you can practice social distancing, you can self-isolate, but if you don't clean properly, you still run the risk of getting ill. It's important that you stock up on cleaning substances and disinfectants. But if your local supermarket has run dry or your pharmacy, then maybe it's time that you think a little creatively. Think of hardware stores. They often sell strippers and things that contain alcohol that you might need. Or you can think of school supply stores, that sell chemicals to the school labs. Or perhaps a little bit outside of town or on the outskirts, art shops, stationery stores, they clean whiteboards with the rubbing alcohol that you can need. So it's really important that you think creatively because you can still find things. Now, today we're going to look at a few of these substances that you might need. I use simple substances that I can find locally. So don't be intimidated by YouTube when you see cleaning liquids and you think, I can't find this. This is not in my country. I will leave 2 links for you below from medical studies that will tell you what substances you can use. And some of them might be a little exotic, but some of them are quite simple. I use alcohol to clean my computer screens, my keyboards, and my phone, and you should clean your phone often. But it's important to note that it should be a 70% solution. 70% alcohol, 30% water, purified or distilled. Now, it has something to do with that fatty outer layer of the virus. The water kind of breaks down that fatty outer layer and weakens it and allows the alcohol to go in and kill the thing. So 100% solution is not better. I use these little sanitizer pads, or alcohol pads actually, that you can buy at medical stores. I think they use them in hospitals, and you can also sometimes find them in computer stores because that's what they use to wipe down phones. And it's really important that you clean your phone all the time while you're out, and especially when you enter the house. And this is small and it's quite handy. Now, your hand sanitizer gel should also be 70% alcohol, and you should check the bottle because some of these products are substandard. But I've heard these little rumors on the internet that you can just use vodka. It's not true. Vodka is 40% alcohol only, and you should put that to better use. So that beautiful blue kamikaze cocktail recipe you saw at the beginning of the video, I will leave the recipe for you below. Put it to good use rather. That's a far better idea. I will also leave for you 2 links below that you can make your own hand sanitizer with, and they are standardized. Some of these recipes on the internet are not standardized, but these 2 are. My absolute go-to is pure old bleach. Now, you have different brand names in different countries, but just follow the instructions on the bottle. Basically, a 1.2 solution to water, bleach to water. 1.2 solution is the bleach, right? Is safe, and I've even read about lower combinations of bleach to water. But I wipe down my parcels and everything that comes from the outside, my groceries, my flour, my milk bottle, I just wipe that down with it and it works perfectly. Just use the household products that you find in your country. You don't need anything exotic, but follow the instructions on the bottle. Now, there's a conspiracy theory going around on the internet, and I've received a couple of texts like that. Ooh, why is this on the back of a disinfectant bottle that it kills coronavirus? This is an old disinfectant. How did they know the outbreak was coming? That's just ignorance. The novel coronavirus is part of a group of viruses, of which the common cold and some strains of flu is part, and it just shows ignorance. It would be best if you stay away from such fearmongers. If you're interested in that kind of thing, more or less, follow good journalism. And I will leave a link below for you, and it's called Zooming In with Simone Gao, and that might interest you. So, good old soap and water, that's still the best defense you have. You should just buy more. And remember, even a bar of soap will work. You're just going to wash your hands more and you're just going to soap up more. So just buy more of it. And don't fight over the fancy liquid soap. Get a bar of soap if that's all that you can find by now. It is important to remember that you can beat this virus by dissolving it with soap and water. And I will leave a very useful link for you below on why soap and water works. And it's easy to understand, so you can maybe show it to other people in your house if they're not inclined to look at the deep scientific data. Now, laundry detergent. You should buy more of that as well, because you can literally wash the virus away if it gets stuck on your clothes. I change my clothes after a trip out because your clothes can get contaminated. And with the measures I've taken, I consider my house a safe space and I don't want to get the virus on my sofa or anything else. So just keep that in mind and maybe you want to adopt that measure for yourself as well. You should stock up on extra dishwashing liquid because you can wash a lot of things like milk containers and cans and bottles that you bring in from the outside after you've gone grocery shopping. And I do that before I put things in my refrigerator and elsewhere. Now, I'm going to look at the data here for a moment because it's pretty recent data. But there's been recent publications that have found that the virus can survive at 67 degrees Celsius for up to 2 to 4 days on glass, metal, plastic, and paper. And I'll leave the link for you below so that you can take a look for yourself. Now, comparisons with MERS and SARS have found that the virus might survive for up to 9 days. We're not sure yet because it's a novel coronavirus, but it is a family member of MERS and SARS. So I err on the side of caution. So stock up on extra dishwashing liquid. So as a final tip, may I suggest that if you have a domestic cleaner, that you give him or her a mask to wear, because you should consider this an outside influence. Now, I understand this might be a little bit difficult in the West to navigate, but fortunately here in Asia, it's normal. So I want you to meet the woman who comes in once a week and mops my floors, my white floors no less. I clean my own house, well, more or less, but she comes to mop my floors. And I want you to meet Tip, my faithful mopster of more than 10 years. Serious as this is, we should not let this get us down. So here's to your health and mine. And if a cup of tea calms you down, well, you should go for that.
Like me.
And a total nerd alert to boot. Nevertheless, I'm going to stick with this fabulous rum cocktail.
Earl Grey.
And the recipe is here below. So I would like for you to comment, like, and subscribe, and let me know if there's something you would like me to talk about in the future. Let's start the conversation. And if you don't know how to comment, you should learn how to do that. So here's to you. Cheers. You're such a presence.